Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Ahsoka fan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I did want to say that you guys probably know this by now, but voice actor Tom Kane, who did the narration in the Clone Wars as well as voicing Yoda, and he's done other characters as well. He a little while back suffered a stroke, which apparently had left him unable to speak. But recent news has said that he is supposed to be making a pretty good recovery. We should keep him in our thoughts because, I can't imagine what that must be like for him and his family, and especially just given how passionate he is about his work. So, I'm just wishing him all the best and a speedy recovery, and I hope he gets well soon. So you guys probably have heard the news by now regarding the rumored Rebels sequel series and the Ahsoka series. And there's also a rumor going around regarding Robert Downey Jr. as well. So I just want to talk about this news a little bit and also see what you guys think about it. First, let's start with the rumored Rebels sequel series. So according to Kessel Run Transmissions, that's where the news first broke. I'm now hearing it from multiple sources, but it looks as though the Rebels animated sequel series might have been scrapped and instead replaced with the live-action Ahsoka series, which is something that I was wondering about. If you watched my previous videos, I'd actually mentioned this, that I thought it was a little bit redundant to have two shows starring Ahsoka that took place in the same timeline, right? And so I was kind of thinking, how are they going to do that? It almost seems like they have to have one or the other. And it looks like they've done just that. So according to this rumor, the Rebels sequel series, the animated one, was about halfway through production when Jon Favreau convinced Dave Filoni to instead tell the story in live action in the Ahsoka series. And it looks like they're going down that route given the success of The Mandalorian Season 2 and Ahsoka's live action debut. So, how do I feel about this news? On one hand, I'm really excited to see these Rebels characters in live action, like Hera, like Sabine, like Zeb, Ezra, obviously, Thrawn. But on the other hand, I'm a little bit old school, maybe, if you want to say it that way. I still kind of like my animation. So there's a little bit of disappointment on my end as well. The reason why I kind of prefer animation is because there's more you can do with it, I find. The Clone Wars fight scenes and lightsaber duels are honestly probably the best duels I've seen, and were even better than the ones we've seen in the movies. Maybe with the exception of Anakin and Obi-Wan's duel in Revenge of the Sith. Even in that scene in the Clone Wars, in Old Friends Not Forgotten, when Ahsoka was jumping from gunship to gunship and she was flying in the air and then she landed with her lightsabers. Scenes like that are so hard to replicate in live action, I find. And even in Ahsoka's live action debut, her fight with the Magistrate was good, but it was definitely nothing compared to what we've seen in animation. So that's kind of why I prefer animation. But nonetheless, I think that overall it is news that we should be excited about. I was seeing reports that Ahsoka's journey may still end in animation. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if that means they're planning on killing her off or what. There's still a bunch of time that goes by between the Mandalorian and obviously the sequel trilogy era. And in The Rise of Skywalker, Ahsoka's voice can be heard as one of the Jedi that Rey summons. So a lot of people have questioned, is she still alive at that point? Dave Filoni has said that that doesn't necessarily mean that she's not alive, but there's obviously a lot of story to tell between The Mandalorian and when her voice can be heard in The Rise of Skywalker. So I do hope that some of that story will be told in animation and then some of it will be told in live action. That's just me. You guys can let me know how you feel, because I know a lot of people are excited about the news. They did really well bringing Ahsoka into live action, so there's no reason to think that they wouldn't do just as good bringing the other characters into live action as well. So now the other news that broke a little while back was regarding Robert Downey Jr. There was news that fans really wanted him to play Admiral Thrawn, which was obviously name dropped in The Mandalorian, and it's gonna be in the Ahsoka series. Then I saw another rumor saying that he is reportedly in talks with Lucasfilm to be a part of an upcoming project. And they obviously didn't say what that project was, but given the ongoing fan rumors, that could very well be the Ahsoka series in which he might be playing Admiral Thrawn, although time will tell. And this obviously has not been confirmed. I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he is a fantastic actor. However, I don't know if I can see him as Thrawn or not, although I could be wrong. These were a couple of people I was thinking would make a good Thrawn. First of all, the voice actor who played him in Rebels, Lars Mikkelsen, I think would make a good Thrawn because obviously he already played him. And, you know, he looks like he could, with makeup, resemble him and do a good job playing him. But if not him, Benedict Cumberbatch is one fan cast that I've seen for a while now. I think he would be great as Thrawn. Anthony Starr, who, for those of you who watch The Boys, plays Homelander.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
He is amazing in that show. Honestly, you gotta check it out, The Boys. And I had actually come across a fan art on Twitter that depicted him as Thrawn. And he looked spot on to me. I know from watching The Boys, he's such a great actor. I could definitely see him nailing the role as well. But yeah, I'm not saying that Robert Downey Jr. would not make a good Thrawn, but I don't know if he necessarily is the first actor that comes to my mind. You guys can let me know what you think, whether or not you think he'd be a good fit. And do you think that he actually is in talks with Lucasfilm regarding playing Admiral Thrawn, or do you think that that is just a separate rumor and he's going to be playing an entirely different character? Then again, Rosario Dawson was fan cast, so the fact that the fans are discussing him playing Thrawn means it could very well be the case that he is. Overall, pretty big news, pretty exciting news. I 100% trust Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I think they've done an amazing job so far. If they felt that this was the right move to make regarding the Rebels sequel series, I do trust them. And if they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Admiral Thrawn and they think he'd be a good Thrawn, I trust them as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do with this and the role that Admiral Thrawn will play. You know, I don't know. I wonder if he'll be in it a lot, or will he only be in it towards the end? Will he kind of play a Vader-like role where he only comes in it every now and then, and when he does, you know, it's usually not good for the characters. Someone will die, or there'll be some type of dire consequence that happens. Are Thrawn and Ezra still together for sure? I think the answer to that has to be yes. They are both on the ship before they went into hyperspace. We don't know what state they're in though, right? It's possible Ezra could be his prisoner or something like that, or maybe Ezra escaped and they separated somehow. That should be interesting to see. So let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will respond to the comments. I love to keep the discussion going. Until next time, take care and see you in the next video.